Welcome to Summarize Science, where we dive into the latest breakthroughs in understanding our world. Today, we are looking at how researchers are modeling subjective urban perception by tracking human eye movements. Urban perception is how we feel about our surroundings, like whether a street looks safe, wealthy, or just plain boring. Most current AI models try to figure this out by only looking at images, but they often ignore the actual human process of seeing. To fix this, the researchers created a new dataset called Place Pulse Gaze. They took thousands of street view images and paired them with the eye-tracking data of real people. By doing this, they can see exactly which parts of a scene grab a person's attention when they are making a judgment. The goal is to move beyond simple image-centric models to something that understands human subjectivity. The team recruited 96 participants to view these images for 7 seconds each while their eyes were tracked. Participants then rated the images based on 3 main feelings: wealth, safety, and boredom. The data showed that people have very different levels of agreement depending on the category. For example, most people agree on what looks wealthy, but what people find boring is much more personal and varied. Interestingly, the way our eyes move changes based on what we are feeling. The study found that features like how many times your eyes fixate on a spot can actually predict your perception. When looking at a wealthy or safe area, participants tended to focus more on things like vegetation and greenery. However, when a street was perceived as boring, people spent more time looking at the sky, the road, or blank walls. The researchers then built a gaze-guided urban perception framework to test their theories. This framework uses a transformer model, the same kind of tech behind things like ChatGPT, to process gaze as a sequence of events. It can look at gaze alone or combine that gaze with the semantic objects in the image, like trees, cars, and buildings. They even tested it with more complex visual representations that go beyond simple object categories. When the AI was told where the humans were looking, its ability to predict the ratings improved significantly. The results showed that gaze alone carries a useful signal, but the real power comes from fusing gaze with the image itself. By aligning the gaze with specific objects, the model learns which parts of a city are cues for certain feelings. This confirms that our visual exploration process is a vital window into our cognitive and emotional states. We can actually see this in action through attribution maps, which show what the AI is thinking. In these images, the AI's attention shifts and becomes more concentrated when it is guided by human gaze. For instance, instead of looking vaguely at a whole street, the gaze-guided model might focus specifically on a scooter or a specific house to determine wealth. This redirection helps the computer ignore irrelevant details and focus on what actually matters to a human observer. In summary, this research proves that the how and where we look is just as important as the image itself. Key takeaways include that gaze is a reliable predictor for subjective feelings and that AI performs better when it mimics human attention. In the future, this could lead to smart glasses that help us navigate more pleasant routes or help city planners design better public spaces. While there is still work to do on making these datasets more global, it is a huge step toward more human-centric urban technology. Thanks for watching Summarize Science, and we will see you in the next discovery.